Hi everyone, welcome to the April coaches meeting for the IEN Esports Network. The agenda is pinned in the chat, so you can find that there. Make sure you sign in to let us know that you're there. You'll also be able to follow along. And like normal, we'll keep this meeting short, but we do want to make sure that we cover everything that we need to cover. Last meeting follow-up, we talked about tournament titles. We spent a lot of time talking about finals, which unsurprisingly we will also spend a lot of time talking about today. Um, Yeah, and then the last coaches meeting of the year will be May 15th, which will cover calendars and rule sets. So that's the first item of new business. Our plan is, and we're going to keep ourselves to it, to release updated general rules, game rule sets, calendars, and new titles to be played next year at the May coaches meeting. So yes, that's after competition is over. But if you're looking forward to the next year and want all of the most current information, that will all be available at the May coaches meeting. As always, it will be recorded and put on YouTube as well. So feel free to check in afterwards for all of that information. We will not have coaches meetings in June or July, and then we'll come back in August and have the mandatory coaches meeting. So just make sure you have those items on your calendar and are looking forward to them. The big topic again for today is IEN Finals at Ball State University. A newsletter was sent out Monday with lots of information. It is linked here. If you are not getting the newsletter, I would suggest you let us know. There's also a link on our website for anyone, general public, to sign up to receive the newsletter as well. So if you have assistant coaches, if you have admins, if you have parents who would like to be kept in the know, feel free to direct them to the website where they can sign up to receive the newsletter. We used to call it a weekly newsletter, and that was a horrible piece of advertising because it was like semi-annually. But now we're getting better. As relevant information is there, we'll send out newsletters. So we like to think it's worthwhile, and you can do that. Um, Things to talk about for day of. Again, April 27th, next Saturday. We're 10 days away from state finals. Registration begins at 7:15 a.m. That's registration slash check-in. So if you are already registered online, your team will have badges. That process will be very smooth. You'll just be able to check in and receive what you need to get. If you are not registered online, which we'll cover the deadline for that later, that process might be a little more involved. It'll still be as streamlined as possible, but we'll need to make sure we collect some information. So keep that in mind. Registration will be open throughout the day. That's a question we've got a lot. You do not need to arrive at 7:15 when registration opens, especially if you're not playing till later in the day. You can arrive whenever you like, and registration will be available. That being said, we've planned a day that we hope and think is valuable for you all to attend for much of the day. So feel free to arrive as early as you would like. There will be a short opening session at 8:15 to kind of kick things off and explain some basics of the day, and then matches begin directly at 8:30. The schedule is linked here as well. This is going to say tentative schedule until after the event is done. That's just the nature of esports. This is our best plan. We believe it's a good one. We think there's time built in to accommodate anything that needs accommodating, but we're not going to sign our names to it and say this is definitely what will happen. So we don't foresee any deviations, but take that for what it's worth. Everything will take place in the Student Center on campus. That link takes you to the Student Center page. In the newsletter, there was a Google Maps picture of where exactly that is on campus and where parking is for it as well. Just as a note, parking is on either end of that building. We're told the east and west ends both have parking lots that are accessible. All on-campus parking that is publicly accessible, Dan from Ball State made sure to put that caveat on there, is free for that day for our event. So as long as you're not parking in a space that is labeled for Chancellor of University only or something like that, you should be fine. The other caveat there is bus parking. We're getting that information hopefully tomorrow on where they want buses to be parked, but there may be a different lot than the drop-off areas that your buses will have to park in during the duration of the day after they drop you off and before they come back to pick you up. So just keep that in mind as well. We'll get you those specific lots when we receive them. They shouldn't be all the way across campus, but they just might not be the lots that are directly next to the student center, where pedestrian vehicles will be parking. In the Student Center, the nice thing if you were at finals last year is it was kind of spread out throughout buildings. This will all be centrally located in the Student Center. So if you don't want to, you won't have to leave that building all day. There's food options there, registration is there, matches will be played there, all the sessions will be in that building as well. There are some other options throughout campus to do different things, but the Student Center can be the only place you go that day if you like. We've expanded a lot of our programming session offerings, so the idea is these are like conference breakout sessions. And if you haven't looked through the list of those, it's also linked there. We're offering, I believe, 42 sessions throughout the day, tailored to students, adults, admins, coaches, parents, anyone who's a stakeholder and might be there. Should be able to find something that will be educational and helpful for them as an event. So we do encourage everyone to sign up for those just so we can make sure we have estimates of numbers. But day of, if you bring students, they can still go to those. You can still go to them. You can pop into rooms and attend. It's not a closed registration. We just want to make sure we have as good of an estimate as possible for those. There's also a collegiate recruiting fair that will be taking place. I believe the current number is 15 colleges and universities in attendance looking to recruit high school athletes. I don't think they're going to recruit middle school athletes, but you can begin those conversations at the middle school level about what students can look forward to for opportunities after high school in collegiate esports. On that note, there will also be the Collegiate ESC, which is the esports arm of the MAC conference, will be holding their finals and championships for Overwatch. Friday will actually be the semifinals, and I didn't get that linked in here, but I will put it on Discord for you. If anyone is going Friday night, you can feel free to attend that event as well for the semifinals. And then Saturday during our event will be the championship match for ESC Overwatch, which will give us and our students a chance to see a collegiate championship in person as well. There'll be raffles throughout the day, so we have some pretty exciting prizes that we're going to give away, including gaming monitors from Viewsonic, some Alienware merch like headsets and backpacks. We have 2 gaming chairs from Spectrum as well, and an Alienware gaming laptop will be the end prize at the end of the day. Some important notes for finals to make sure everyone's aware of. We've said this before, but we want to make sure we reiterate again. All of the matches will be live and in person. So there is no remote play for finals. If you qualify, the expectation is that you're there. We've been communicating this hopefully enough over the last year that that's not a surprise to anyone, but just to reiterate one more time, that is the expectation. Newer development, we will have peripherals available for use. We were able to partner with LandFest, who procured us 45 sets of peripherals for use. That being said, still feel free to bring your own. Encourage students to do so if they want. To be frank with you, I don't know the brand of the peripherals we're receiving. I'm sure they're good, but your students may have specific preferences. So feel free to bring any peripherals that you would like, but we will have them available. And by that, I mean keyboards, mice, and headsets. Controllers, especially for Rocket League, students need to bring their own. Also, Switch controllers would be a plus to bring because we can't guarantee that we would have what they would want. Food available on site again. So in the building there's a food court in the student center that you can purchase food from. There's also plenty of other outside vendors nearby if you would rather walk and go there. We are going to limit food and beverages to the dining hall floor of the venue. Just seems like an appropriate idea given the amount of people that will be in the competition space with all the electronic equipment that will be there. That being said, Ball State's a big campus. There's lots of spaces. If you want to bring your own cooler food on the bus, I know that's been suggested, feel free to do that. We're not sure if you will be allowed to bring that into the student center. We're still figuring out those details due to non-compete agreements with food vendors. But again, there's plenty of space for you to be able to eat a sack lunch if you would like to bring one instead of having your students purchase food at the venue. Reminder, we'll also be awarding first, second, and third place finishes for tournament titles. So if one of your students podiumed for any of those tournament titles, medals will be awarded at the award ceremony at finals. Nick sent out messages if you have those students to relay their names so we can make sure that we announce their names. So if you have one of them and didn't see that message, go back and check. Nick would be eternally grateful to not have to bug you again for your students' names and schools. In addition, we will also obviously award all the trophies and medals for the championship match winners as well. I mentioned online registration. Here's the link to the webpage with that registration form embedded. Again, please, we're asking that everyone will fill that out. So it could be parents who are attending, other coaches who are attending. We just like to have a nice count and also be able to give printed badges to everyone who is going to attend. If you're still not sure if you're going to qualify tomorrow or Friday for matches, that's fine. The registration will be open through Sunday. You can have students register now and change their topic if they would like. The form is editable, and they can go back and change from competing player to just attending. If you would rather wait till after you're sure about qualification, you can do that as well. But we do ask that please everyone register for a count. Current count, last I checked, is we're right about 300 total attendees, including vendors, colleges, partners, all of that. We are planning for 500. So hopefully we get pretty close to that. I think we will. A few notes for teams actually competing in finals. On League OS, make sure that you have some information. Make sure that you have correct team names. We're kind of going through and peeking at that too. But we really want your school name in your team name. For all the graphic overlays and things, that is going to be easier to identify your school, if that is true. We'd love if you had an esports logo, but just any logo for your school submitted on your team pages is also necessary, please, so that we can make sure the broadcast goes as smoothly as possible and is as high quality as possible. And then, at least for Rocket League, if there could be some sort of player profile picture. If your team qualified for Rocket League Finals, that information gets pulled over in the stream overlay as well. If not, that's fine. We'll fill with your school logo, but that is an option for your players to be able to do as well. One thing I noticed that we forgot to mention in here is we will have t-shirts as well for competing players, so they will be able to pick that up at registration. There will also be like other options for like a vendor for shirts to buy. If you're looking for someone to provide your program with t-shirts, that will be there as well. But we are purchasing event t-shirts for all the competing teams and players. Board members, what am I missing? I don't hear anything. Some questions in chat? Not a lot. Yeah, Ryan, we'll get to you. I see that hand. Nick, we're planning for enough that should be fine. Yep, we are planning for subs to receive all of those things as well. Parents are absolutely welcome. Anyone from your school who you would like to invite is welcome. Free for everyone to attend. Again, we do just ask that if possible they fill out that registration form beforehand. If not, they can sign in real quick when they get there so we can keep a document of that as well. Ryan, go ahead. If you want to type in chat or unmute.
Yeah, I noticed in the registration asking about like help with broadcasting.
Mm-hmm.
We have a broadcasting, radio and broadcasting program at our school. So I just wondered, should I have the director of that fill themselves out as a coach and check the box for you, or what's the best way of just because he would really like to help out with that?
Yeah, that'd be fine, and students as well. So we have, last I checked, 33 students who were interested in helping with the production and broadcast in some way. So, yeah, by all means. It doesn't even have to be students with your program necessarily. If that director is coming with them and wants to be involved, for sure.
I would say he's explicitly an adult that would like to come help be a part of the broadcast. So
that's fine too. Yep. So we're running 4 simultaneous streams throughout the day. Ball State is handling Overwatch and Valorant. One will be on the Ball State channel. One will be on the Indiana HSEN channel. Manchester University is handling the Smash Brothers stream throughout the day, and League OS is handling the Rocket League stream throughout the day. So we're welcoming help in any of those areas, definitely. Is there going to be a schedule for casters before the event? Probably at the event. I don't know if we'll be able to communicate that before the event, Catherine. We'll try, but for sure, once they arrive, we'll have that available as well, based on if they're competing and what their schedule looks like throughout that day. Um, we'll be able to provide that for them, and it'll be flexible as well. If you have students who are like, "Hey, I didn't sign up, but I still want to do this," we can make room for them. We're running for throughout the day. Um, yeah, in terms of time, yeah, we can figure that out as well. If you're not sure you'll be there at certain times, we can try to communicate as early as possible. We'll probably by default schedule them around your school division window. So like if you're a single A school, then we'll try to schedule them around that single A competition time slot. But if you know specifically that you're not going to be there at certain times, just let us know and we can work around that too. And worst case scenario, if you arrive before or after the scheduled time, we can still fit the students in. We have Ball State has enough production students to be able to run completely on their own. We're not relying on students for anything, but there's tons of opportunities for them to be involved. Yes, please register as well, all of you. Seats for spectators, yes. There'll be plenty of seats available in the competition hall itself. So most of the competitions will be taking place in I don't know what they're called, the Cardinal rooms, I believe, something like that, Cardinal A, B, and C. It's basically going to be an open area that's got some air walls dividing and segmenting off, but everyone will be competing in the same space. Again, there's no more of this walking between floors and different stuff. It's just all kind of there. It should be easy to do. There'll be like since we're in a centrally located location, there'll be an MC with some AV equipment for to be able to talk and make announcements for all these things as well. The stream list, yes, what I just said, but we can type that out in chat as well. We'll make sure to publish. The links are published in the newsletter, so you can see all of them. But again, the details, I'm assuming Carlos, Chris, or Nick can type out in the chat for you, so we can get you that in writing. Other questions for the good of everyone? Yeah, Kurt. Kids playing in Overwatch 2 and Smash Brothers. We'll work that out. Yep. Send one of us a message so we can make sure we follow up. But there should be enough flexibility in the schedule where that shouldn't be a problem. Know of any fun tournaments this summer? There's talk of Guardian Proline, the vendor that some of us use for jerseys and such, hosting a tournament this summer. If that materializes, we can pass along that information. I know there's also some talks of some like interstate national level stuff that may or may not occur. I don't know of anything set in stone, but as we become aware of information, we can let you know. But what I'm really hearing Isaiah say is he wants to host a LAN this summer at Concord, and we would be happy to help organize and facilitate the resources for that and put it on the calendar. So that's what I'm hearing Isaiah say. It's great. Now we're going to get less questions because they think they're volunteering for things. Anything else for the good of everyone here?
Competing teams, there is going to be like a green room for you guys to warm up and play in. So do make sure you come, I would say at least an hour before your scheduled match time to get in and warm up your players so that they can be ready to go. So that is available, and those are separate rooms that are put on for those students.
And there is a schedule for warm-ups on PCs as well. The warm-up stations will be in the esports center, not in the student center. So keep that in mind. There will be machines and dedicated rooms and times for you to warm up. We will publish that schedule as well so you can know. But if you want to utilize that, that will be in the esports center, not the student center. Trophy ceremony, we haven't come up with a specific order for which the winners will be announced and awarded, but all of them will be awarded at the end of the day at that award ceremony, both the tournament titles and the winning teams from the competitions. Anything else before we end the official meeting and then just answer any other more personalized questions that don't apply necessarily to the good of everyone? For competitions, I'm assuming you mean, Nick, like the team titles, the winner is receiving a physical award. All right. Yep. Yeah, just the winning school will receive the trophy, and their students will receive medals. All right. Well, at 21 minutes, we'll call this the end to the official meeting. As always, thank you for coming. You're welcome to hang out with us and ask any more personal questions. Follow up with us on Discord or via email. And I think I can speak for the rest of the board. I am excited for state finals still. We're not in the crunch zone where it's too hectic to be excited. I think we're going to put on an event that is hopefully going to exceed your expectations. I think we're going to be pretty proud of the result. So hopefully we'll see you all there next Saturday. If not, follow us online and check out the streams throughout the day and help us out with getting the word out for the types of events that we're putting on. With that, again, free to hang out and ask any questions, but this is the official end for the meeting, so thanks for coming.